started. We appreciate everybody showing up with us and spending the evening with us. We're going to start off things tonight with a musical performance by the Roy High School Choir. The choir is going to sing two different songs for us, Away in a Manger and Swinging with Santa Claus. The choir's director is Shannon Sobey. And following that, those two performances, Roy High student Isabella Peterson is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So.
It's a second. Shouldn't be too loud. Okay, yeah.
For Isabel.
Thank you. Yes.
Everyone stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag and the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thanks, Isabel, and thanks to the Roy High Choir. Let's give them another big hand. You parents that come to watch them sing, you're more than welcome to stay, but you're more than welcome to go if you'd like to, so we wouldn't blame you. Let's move into some recognitions tonight. Matt Williams and Rob Lake, please.
All right. President Whittison, Superintendent Butters, and the board, we're excited to recognize Lori Brown tonight. She won the Utah Secondary Secretary of the Year Award. So we're going to invite her to come on up here with us. She loves doing this. So we don't have a video to show. She was awarded this at the conference that they had in October down at the Point of the Mountain. And so I just want to give you a little details on how it happened. So unbeknownst to Lori, we had about a dozen or so head administrative assistants. They voted her. They wrote letters of recommendation for Lori to win this award, and she had no idea that this happened because she wrote a letter for Diane Morin, who happens to be here tonight, and thought that Diane would be a shoo-in, and I agree. She's awesome. And so when the email came, it was supposed to come on a Monday morning. Lori was waiting for the email to come, thought it was going to happen for sure, and she's like, I haven't heard anything yet. She was so distressed, but Matt and I already received an email and knew that she got it. And so we had to play it off a little bit. Clyde, myself, and Matt and her husband went down to the Point of the Mountain. Kyle came down with us, and when she got called up on the stage, I think she was mortified, and so she had no idea it was coming. I was the last one on the stage, so the first one that she encountered, and I took the brunt of it. She gave me a few body blows and was not happy about it because she's so humble. And so just want to recognize her tonight and just let everyone know how valuable Matt and I think she is to our secondary administrative team. And she's so good with people, so helpful, and she's so knowledgeable about everything that we do in secondary education. And so she is invaluable to Matt and I, and we're just glad that she got the recognition as secondary secretary of the year in the state of Utah. So thank you, board. We're gonna have Lori introduce who she came with tonight.
I brought my great family, my husband Kyle, and my 2 oldest daughters, Hallie and Zoe.
This is Lori's worst nightmare, that Rob and I both have the mic. So, yeah, it was fantastic. So. Yeah, Board, when we found that out, we had to lie to her, so we will, she's finally forgiven us, and then she's still making up for it. So congratulations to Lori, she's fantastic. If I can just for a second say, and Ms. Butters talked about Mr. Martini getting high school principal of the year last year. If you remember, Mr. Patterson got middle school principal of the year, and Lori now secretary of the year for the state, you guys. And so the saying that I've said before is we got great people here, and the lady that's in charge, the executive director, Rhonda Bromsley, as she was here at Westfield, just said, I love coming to Weber School District because it's like a family and people show up for each other. I usually go do this and one person comes from the district office and it's a very small celebration. She said it's just fantastic to come to Weber School District. So we got great people, and we're just happy to be a part of it. So thank you, Lori. Good job. All right. If I could ask Mr. Corey Watson to come up here for a second. It's my honor and privilege to get to present to you tonight the Partners in Education Award. This is Mr. Corey Watson. He is part owner in John Watson Chevrolet, him and his brother Cam Watson. Cam is not able to be here tonight, but we got to go down and interview him and talk to him. He was nominated by Fremont High School, but anybody that knows anything about any athletics or opportunities for kids in northern Utah know that John Watson Chevrolet supports them all. So we're going to watch a video and then we'll talk for just a second. So
we're a little different than most car dealerships, and we were raised under my dad's watch, and he was like that. He always served on a lot of boards with the school districts. He just was always involved, and I think we were just always taught from a young age you probably ought to take care of that community, and for us this school seemed to be the place to do it.
John Watson Chevrolet has always in my mind just been a great partnership with the community, and when I was principal of Roy High School, and I met Corey and Cam, and they are ingrained in Weber County and in our community. So we love John Watson.
That's exactly what Watson Chevrolet is doing. They're investing in their community. And I think the return on investment on that as a community partner speaks for itself. They are invested in the kids who will become our community.
John Watson Chevrolet has been awesome. I know for a fact they've helped sponsor Players of the Week, Athletes of the Week, which has meant a lot to our kids and athletes. I also know beyond just athletics that they help out our student government and our school. They've donated trucks that we've used in Roy Days parades, in homecoming festivities. Over and over again, I know that they're always willing just to donate and help to us, and it's been awesome.
Number one, the Watsons are always there at our events. They're always showing support, just like the rest of the community out here. They love Fremont.
I actually asked John Watson this year to use a truck for our unified soccer tournament to bring out our officials and our special members that were delivering the game ball, and there's no questions asked. He's available, he's ready. He says, hey, how can I help?
It's easy to get behind youth and just be part of the program. Our local schools are really good to, share the wealth, and they seem to come to us and ask at times, and sometimes we even go to them and see how we can help. So it's a good partnership.
Financially, they're just willing to help the school out as they can. So it's just been fantastic that way.
We've had our high school dances there. We had our prom there, and they offer their facility. They clean it out for us. They bring cars out. They open up the area. They let our kids come in there and celebrate.
I think we feel like it's money well spent. It's certainly better than just throwing your money at some random advertising that you don't know what it's going to produce. So it's a good cause.
They have helped us in the teen center. They've provided needs that our students are in need of, and they've also helped us with our dances. They're always our go-to people to help us anytime we need them, and they highlight our student athletes. We love John Watson Chevrolet.
There's a lot of ways probably to get involved with the schools, and they typically do come to us, and I guess the first thing is you just got to say yes. And as long as you're willing to support them with a little bit of a financial contribution and some time, it's really fun, and it's pretty rewarding because those kids they really eat it up and like it. And then we see a lot of benefits from it as far as people coming to see us and buy vehicles and service cars, and we develop great relationships. And I don't like just throwing money at TV ads and things. I'd way rather spend it on things for the community.
We'd have our dances here, give them a check, and then at the end of the dance, usually the week after, Corey would come to the school and give the check back to us and would tell us thanks.
They are just great people in the sense that they give of anything that they have to make the school run better, look good.
It's great to see Corey and Cam and even John and their families supporting athletic events, whether it be football, basketball, volleyball, you name it. They're out there supporting and always attending and being positive in the community, and that really goes a long way.
After each sports season, they hold a big dinner. They have a celebrity speaker come in, talk to our kids.
And the speaker talks a lot about not just sports, but about life. And it's all back infused into celebrating and highlighting what these kids have done in their individual schools.
People love it. I get comments all over the place from people that don't buy cars, that are just good people that come in, or that I'll see them somewhere and say, hey, my kid was down there, thanks for doing that. And it's been super positive.
So they sponsor Northern Utah, and we always are represented, I think, significantly. It's just a great thing that our kids get recognized. They love high school sports.
Between the two of us, we have 11 kids, have all been through the school systems here. I still have kids in high school. I think Corey's got one left at high school. I have some in junior high, and it's an easy place to support. It's a good cause.
I would love to thank Watson Chevrolet for their contributions to our community and to all of the students that they have celebrated over many, many years.
Hey, congratulations, John Watson Chevrolet. All the guys over there have been fantastic.
We want to give a huge thanks and thank John Watson for their support of Royal Nation, our community.
I don't have enough good things to say about John Watson, and I'm so happy they're getting this award.
So, board, it's my privilege to present to you Corey Watson, who one of the owners of John Watson Chevrolet, as our partners in education for this month. And I've asked Corey would like to say just a few things. So.
Thank you very much. I'm really honored to receive this tonight. My brother couldn't be here. He had some other obligations. But it is honestly the place we want to be. We love our industry, and we do a lot of things with a lot of people, but there's nothing more fun for us than supporting the school district. There's something just a little extra special about Weber, and we like being partners. So I like the name of the award because honestly, we feel like we're your partners, and we want to continue to do those things. The kids have been great. I noticed in the clip, he said I bring the check back. I had to come up with a plan a long time ago to have these dances at the school, and I felt like it was maybe the students' obligation to pay their way. And I thought if they just will come in and not damage my place, I'll give them their money back. And I've been able to do that every single time. So I'm happy that that's worked. We've only had a few strange incidents at the store, but we don't want to go into that at high school dances. Ton of fun, and there's so many things. I laid in bed the night before I interviewed with these guys, thinking of things we've done, and it brought back a lot of memories of things we've done for years. And I got to tell you, it's been really fun to rub shoulders with some of you tonight that I haven't seen for a long time. I've got to know you all through things at the district and at your own schools when you were, whether you were teachers or administrators or moved on to the district. It's been great to know you, and we are excited to continue that support. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Corey, thank you, and tell Cam and everybody back at the dealership we appreciate everything you do. Thank you.
Next, board superintendent, Mr. Mitchell. I always got to get Mr. Mitchell in there. This is the highlight of what we do, and as Rob talked about us having to lie about to Lori about Diane, because Diane was a shoo-in. She was probably second in line to get the state secretary award. We had to lie to her. So at this time, we'd like to bring up Diane Morin, who's received the Extra Mile Award for Weber School District. Diane is the head administrative assistant at Roy Jr. And 35 years, Diane? 38? 38 years. And she looks like she's 38 years old, right? How could that happen? She is the reason Roy Jr. functions. I was principal there. Mr. Lake was principal there. Mr. Swalberg. Nick. And Diane trained us all, and she is fantastic. You'll see a video here that talks about the many things that she does, but the place functions like a top because of Diane Morin. So let's watch this, and then we'll have a few comments.
Mrs. Morin, as far as rock stars go, she's not Nickelback. I mean, you don't just think she's good, she is good.
I worked with Diane in 2000 to 2003. She was a secretary here when I was a teacher, and became friends with her, and she's amazing. She has been since then just a friend, and anytime I see her or talk to anyone that has met her, they just tell me how wonderful she is.
She's just amazing. She's amazing. She's positive. She's always uplifting those around her, and just an example of how to do our jobs and be good people.
She's been the one that has accepted new principals in there, and taught them the ropes and knows everything about the school, the community, the people, and everybody respects her and loves her.
She makes my life really easy as a principal. She takes care of everything before I even think about it.
Diane is just a kid advocate. She is so kind and works with all kids that come her way. She invites them into the office. She has personal conversations with them and just makes them feel like they're valued, they're important. She cares for them.
Honestly, she makes everybody feel seen, whether it's kids that are struggling or kids that are, not struggling. She helps every kid feel seen and heard and respected.
She is kind. She is the face of the office. When people walk in, she has set the tone with the ladies in the front office, and kids come in or parents come in, they are helped first. They're treated with respect and dignity. She is always thinking of other people.
She's great with the faculty as well. It's not just the kids. Anybody who walks through that door leaves feeling valued, important, and they know that Diane cares. She's an amazing educator, but she's also just an amazing person.
Even with just teachers coming in and needing assistance, she's always knows what's going on, how to help them.
Parents love her. She is thinking of the community also. She has a really deep love for the community.
She's always helping teachers. She's helping with food pantry stuff, and she's done this for decades here. She's literally the heart of Roy Jr.
She really is kind of like the heart of the school, of Roy Jr.
She kind of is Roy Jr. She's been there for over 35 years.
It's just a privilege to be able to work right next to her and get to learn from her and all her experience being here at Roy Jr. for so many years.
She just is willing to help wherever she's needed, and there's nothing that she's not willing to do to help others.
Just a dynamic person. She's so kind, and one thing I left out is that she's so caring and she takes care of the people that need to come in and get things from the pantry. She does it in a dignified way and makes them feel welcome, and they come back, and whatever they need, she gets for them.
She has taken I don't know how many families out to the food pantry and made sure that they have had food and clothing and backpacks and hygiene kits, and make sure that they feel like they are a treasure when they leave here. Like they are welcome back anytime. This is something that we love doing for them, and that's how she treats them.
She's helping students constantly. Like, students always love her, and I always like to brag that I'm related to her, because students are always like, oh my gosh, like the one with the spiky hair in the office, we all love her.
She supports the staff and the teachers, and she also, if there's a concern, she is the first to bring it to us. And she'll say, maybe you should check on this person, or have you heard from this person? And so she's just kind of the true Razorback.
Congratulations, Diane. You are amazing. So deserving of this honor, and thanks for all you do to make Roy Jr. and Weber School District a great place to be.
I love you. And she's basically my mom, so I get to see her in and outside of the workplace. And again, like, nobody more deserving of this. She's the heart of Roy, she's the heart of our family, and there's nobody better.
Diane, we want to congratulate you on this award. Everyone I've talked to has mentioned that you have deserved it, and you are definitely the Extra Mile Award recipient. You deserve it.
I think if there's a picture in the dictionary of the Extra Mile Award recipient, it would be of Diane Morin. So it's great pleasure to award her with this. Diane, would you just tell us who's here with you tonight?
Thank you. What an honor. Thank you. I have my husband Ray, my son Garrett and his cute family, my daughter-in-law Brooke, and my granddaughter Mabel, and my grandson Bo and Porter and Knox, and my daughter Mackenzie and her beautiful daughter Tylee, and my son-in-law Ty.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you again. We appreciate it. We'll move to a principal spotlight. Superintendent, if you'd like to make a quick introduction.
Yes, Mary Heslop, would you come on down? And we'll get you prepped and your presentation ready to go. Board, as you know, we've been featuring a principal each month, and it's an elementary principal spotlight opportunity tonight. Mary's been working really hard at Country View Elementary, and we were able to steal her a couple of years ago from another district to be unnamed, and we celebrate that every day. She's doing a tremendous job, and so we're excited to hear about the great things going on at Country View. Welcome, Mary.
Thank you, Superintendent Butters, President Widdowson, Board. I'm so excited to share tonight with you some of the amazing things that we're doing at Country View. So to start, please join our Instagram and Facebook pages. And I have to preface this before I push play on this, that we were doing an undercover Spirit Week with our students where all of the adults dress up. And the day we decided to film this one that's on our Instagram page, it was dressed like a student day. So just know that the faculty and staff, we usually don't dress like this. So I just want to share one of our great ideas that my faculty and staff, we do videos often and put them on our Instagram page. And this one has over 20,000 views on it. So, oh, how many days have we been in school? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Teachers, I am so excited! On Tuesday is the 67th day of school! Woo! 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6, 7! 6,
It's the 67th day of school on Tuesday. You guys are 67 days smarter. So on Tuesday, wear your 6-7 attire, and we're gonna have lots of fun in all the classrooms. See you then.
High five. Down low. Up to heaven. 6-7.
So a lot of fun on that Tuesday where we celebrated our 67th day of school. And if you go to our Instagram page, we also have a video of our students on there celebrating their 67th day of school. So a few things about Country View is that we have a really good PBIS system happening in our building. So you can see a picture of our Colt Care tickets that we hand out throughout the building on the playground, the cafeteria, the hallways, the classrooms, throughout the entire school when our students are safe, responsible, and kind. Students are recognized, they know exactly what they're recognized for, and we're very specific in giving those tickets out to our students. When they get these tickets, we begin with the end in mind because we are a Leader in Me school. At the beginning of every month, students go through a slide presentation in the entire building, and they sign up for an activity that they're going to earn these tickets for to get to go to at the end of the month. And so usually these activities cost 2 or 3 tickets because we're not expecting our kids to get millions of these tickets throughout the month. When they earn those tickets, the teachers go in and they record those every week. And then by the end of the month, the students get to go to that positive behavior reward activity. Now, if they don't have enough tickets, they still get to go to an activity. It's just an alternate activity than the one that they chose, but it's still something that's engaging and fun for all kids. And so we spend the last Friday of the month for about 25 minutes in that activity. So we do various things from painting the windows when you walk in the building. You'll see those right now decorated by students that are all Christmas themed right now, to face painting, to building models of things, to blowing bubbles, to making slime or putty. And the kids really love these activities. I mentioned that we are a Leader in Me school, and so we do have action teams that happen every Friday while we're teaching our Leader in Me. These are some of our action teams, and one exciting thing that we're doing this year is we're applying to be a Lighthouse school, and we have that review on March 18th. So Franklin Covey is going to be coming out to our school. We're working right now to get our evidence binder turned into them, and we're really excited about that. And our students lead lots of things. They do announcements every morning. We have a student Lighthouse team that helps make decisions in our building. They help with all kinds of different things, from lunchroom to recess, to Hope Squad, to choir, all those different things. Our students are involved in making those decisions with us. One action team also focuses on our Cult Success Student of the Week. Every Friday morning, we have classroom-led announcements. So a classroom will come to my office and I get to celebrate with them. They do announcements, and then they call down whatever we're celebrating that week. We do different things, from excellent playground behavior to cafeteria to excellent sidewalk behavior is even one of them, to the best student who has the leadership skills, to athleticism, to a various range. We have something that every student in our school will get recognized throughout the year. When they receive this award, they come down, we take a picture, it goes on our Facebook page. I give them a treat. We take those certificates. The action team helps put those up and take down the old ones. And then we put those in the office, and one of my admin assistants, she then attaches a free food coupon for a kids' meal at a local business. And so they get a couple rewards for those. They get their certificate, goes up there all week, and they become Facebook famous, is what I tell them. We're also partnered this year with Westfield, and we hope that this is an ongoing partnership with them, where they have high school students who are looking to be future educators. And so they're coming in on their B days, and we have them assigned a classroom teacher where they're able to complete their practicum hours with. And so it's a great partnership for both us and for Westfield High School. They're in the classrooms, they're helping our students, and then they're also learning how to become teachers themselves. So hopefully that in Weber School District, we can train them and then we can keep them. One of the things that we're doing for the adults in our building is we're working on 180 days of self-care. So every week, every adult in my building gets these little cards that these adults are holding, and we're focusing on one thing every week. So you can see that we focused on laughter and music and nutrition and hydration, sleep, limiting technology. This week we're working on kindness. And so every week it's just a little blurb from Tina Bugren, who is a consultant with Solution Tree, and she has a book that's written based on the 180 days of self-care. And then there's different activities that the adults in the building can complete. And as they complete those, they turn that card back into me, and then I do a drawing every Tuesday morning over the announcements when the kids are doing those, and whoever I draw out gets to come and get a little prize for me for completing the self-care activity from the previous week. Another great thing that's happening at Country View is that we are really focused on unit planning. So my teachers have really found the value of what unit planning can do for their students. So they did a training this summer. Every single one of them volunteered their summer day in July to come and get trained by Maria Nelson from up in Cache County. She did a training, and now every week during their PLCs, they're working on this unit planning. But then I've also given them the gift of a day every quarter where I provide a sub for them, and they really appreciate this because that's what they need the most. They need time to be able to complete these unit plans so that they know exactly what they're instructing in their classroom on. So thank you so much for allowing me to visit with you today, and Country View is the best, and feel free to stop by anytime and come see it in action in person.
Thank you. Lots of good news there. Thank you very much. Board, you've had the opportunity to review the items on the consent calendar. I'd entertain a motion to approve them. Doug, Wiley, any discussion on any of those items? All in favor of approval, please say aye. Any opposed? Thank you. We'll now move into the public comment portion of our meeting. I'll call people up in order of the sign up. Those addressing the board will have up to 3 minutes to do so, and there will be a little timer up on the board. We ask that you introduce yourself by name and tell us the schools you're involved with, that your children attend, the topic that you'd like to address, and if you represent yourself or a group. As a reminder, the board will not take public comment on personnel issues, statements regarding the character, professional competence, or physical or mental health of an individual during our board meetings. Also, the board's practice tonight is just to listen to public comment and not have dialogue and feedback. So Pam's given us the board, the sign-up list. We'll start with Olivia Andrew, move to Michelle Jeffs, and then to Emily Tubbs, please.
Good evening. I'm Olivia Andrew. My kids go to Lowman View, and I'm here speaking about Lowman View, and I represent myself. Thank you for the time and the energy that you've invested into this process, for reading our emails, listening at the hearing, and for staying present even when it was hard. I want to thank Board Member Larson, our representative, for taking calls, texts, and meeting with people multiple times. Your willingness to listen and engage is appreciated. Thank you, Board Members Larson and Burrell, for coming to our Lowman View tour and seeing firsthand what the school means to our community. We know that you carry a heavy responsibility, and our community understands both the financial pressures and the need to be responsible stewards. We also know that Lowman View and schools like it matter. Lowman View is more than a building. It's a place of belonging, stability, and academic excellence, where students feel safe, known, and supported. It is the highest performing elementary in the district, and it is loved deeply because of that, not in spite of its older building, but alongside it. That should mean something. Part of what makes this moment so difficult is that there are simply too many unknowns: birth rate fluctuations, a long tail of COVID aftermath, and unstable economic conditions and DLI studies. There's too much that is shifting, and we need time for things to stabilize in order to make wise long-term decisions that honor both students and taxpayers. That is why I'm asking for something simple and responsible. While I'd prefer you just to say no to a closure, but pause this study. Pause so the district can take a complete, thoughtful look at the entire Weber Cone, the DLA studies, Pioneer, Majestic, Harrisville City, the projected growth, all of it together. Slowing down creates the least disruption for our children while giving taxpayers due diligence for their investment in public education. A pause does not close the door, it keeps options open. It allows decisions to be made deliberately with the full picture in view rather than under pressure. In the meantime, investing only in what's necessary for Lowman View is fiscally responsible. It avoids risking a fast-track new school and a rushed bond in a difficult economic climate. With times that are uncertain, most of us do what is wise. We hunker down. We make do with what works, and we avoid unnecessary debt. If something is performing well, like Lowman View, we don't replace it. It's the difference between maintaining a dependable used car versus buying a new car in a bad economy. Sometimes the responsible choice is to stretch what we have and protect public dollars. This is a win-win. The least impact on children and families, and the most responsible stewardship of taxpayer resources. It shows the district can lead with both fiscal wisdom and genuine community care, something that builds trust for years to come. Thank you for your time and for the empathy that you bring to these decisions. A pause supports schools that are working well, honors the communities behind them, and moves the districts forward responsibly. Thank you.
Thank you. Michelle Jeffs, Emily Tubbs, and then Chad Hill, please.
My name is Michelle Jeffs, and tonight I'm representing my 4 children and my Lowman View community, both those that are here with me and those that are at home anxiously waiting to hear the board's decision. Superintendent, school board, thank you for listening to me again. Keeping Lowman View open is the right decision. It is both evidence-based and fiscally responsible. First, the research on school closures is abundant. The problems the district is facing are real: low enrollment, aging buildings, but these problems are not unique. And there is decades of research supporting and providing policy guidance to districts in this situation. The policy guidance is clear. Districts should only close chronically low-performing schools, and it is, quote, non-negotiable that districts should send affected students to better-performing schools to mitigate the real harms that come from school closures. Lowman View is a strong school, and it does not meet the criteria experts have identified to justify closure. Lowman View's science and math RISE scores are each at over 72% proficiency this year. And let's be clear, this isn't just an accident of wealth. Lowman View is outperforming even wealthier Park City schools, as just one example. A Lowman View teacher has said that Lowman View students thrive because of the school community. But what about the drop in enrollment? What about the aging building? Dr. Harris and Dr. Martinez, economic researchers at the Education Research Alliance, wrote an article entitled "School Closures, What Not to Do." And there they argued that it was a mistake for districts to focus solely on enrollment and the building. They said, quote, "When all is said and done, a plan falls short if it saves money but doesn't serve students in the best way possible, given the financial constraints. If a district has a great team in a failing building, it is essential to keep that team together." Lowman View has a great team. Keeping it together is supported by decades of research, and it is an evidence-based decision. Second, the unknowns. The district is facing major unknowns, as Olivia said: DLI changes, Pioneer's future, shifting birth rates, a pandemic-induced alternative schooling boom. There's zoning and ADUs and significant growth coming to the Weber Cone. There are 3,951 identified new constructions currently planned that could affect schools in our area, and proposed legislation that could force cities to build at an even faster rate or face state penalties. To close Lowman View puts the 4 nearby elementary schools at capacity. Therefore, to close Lowman View risks having to build a new elementary school. To do so is fiscally irresponsible, short-sighted, and harmful to the families in our cone. Even if you're feeling unsure about Lowman View's future, you can be confident that keeping it open now, at least for now, is the right decision because of the many unknowns facing our district. Closing now risks cost at taxpayers' expense. Please slow down. Take time to get an independent analysis and make a plan. Don't close a school where our community is thriving, teachers are committed, and our students are making above average growth. Thank you.
Thank you. Emily Tubbs, Chad Hill, and then Stephen Martin, please.
Hi, I'm Emily Tubbs. I'm representing my family and the Butler family. Our students go to Hooper Elementary, and I'll repeat some of that in here. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Emily Tubbs, and I'm here on behalf of both my family and the Butler family. We live in the small part of Hooper that sits on the Davis County side, right on the border, an area that has been a part of Hooper community for generations, more than 75 to 100 years. Our families share the same values that define Weber County and Hooper City: safety, consistency, community, and doing what is right for children. When my children began school, we were told that we would be grandfathered into the school and transportation arrangement. The promise shaped our work schedule, child care plans, and daily routines. We trusted that commitment because in a community like Hooper, a promise means something. Now the rules have changed midstream. Our children have lost bus route we were told they would continue to receive. We don't understand how the school exception and the bus exception can be treated so differently when they were originally tied together. I want to be very clear. We are not asking for a new bus stop, a new route, or any added cost. We are simply asking to return to the existing bus stop that is already right by our homes. We've verified that there's plenty of room on the bus, both by counting the seats ourselves and from students confirming it. The only other families like ours, the ones who live in Davis County side but attend Hooper, have signed our petition that they do not expect these exceptions or variances. They simply recognize that our situation is unique. And it is unique. We live more than 2 miles away. We are not within walking distance. There is no safe path for my 3 children to walk. There's few sidewalks, narrow roads, dark mornings in the winter, and poor weather. And I have witnessed firsthand how unsafe it truly is. One morning, this is just one incident, a car refused to stop for the crossing guard. She physically stepped in front of that car to protect our children. And had she hadn't done that, that morning could have been very different. That was terrifying and confirmed that walking is not a safe option for our kids. I'd like to share the analogy that reflects how this situation feels for our families. Imagine going to a restaurant 15 minutes before closing. We knew that this would eventually kind of happen, the changes in the school district. You're welcomed in, seated, and told you could stay because you arrived before closing time. But halfway through your meal, they change their policy. They lock the doors and ask you to take your meal outside and finish it on your own. That is exactly how this transportation change feels. We entered before closing time, we were told we could stay, and we are mid-meal/mid-education, and now the rules have changed. We are not asking the restaurant to reopen its doors for others. We are only asking to finish our meal we were already told we could eat. This request costs nothing, requires no new stop, no new route, and does not open the door for others. It simply aligns with the values of Hooper and Weber County are built on honoring commitments, protecting children, supporting community, and doing what's right. On behalf of both the Tubbs and Butler families, I respectfully ask for a transportation variance so our children can safely return to the existing bus route they were originally promised. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Emily. Chad Hill and then Stephen Martin, please.
I brought a script this time. Good evening, Superintendent Butters, President Woodison, board members. Once again, my name is Chad Hill, and I'm a resident of Pleasant View. I have 2 children that attend Lowman View Elementary, and I am here to once again talk about their school, our school. First, I'd like to thank the board and the district for this forum and the opportunity to speak. While this is an emotionally charged subject, this has been a wonderful introduction and lesson for my children on civics, a representative government, civil dialogue, and the importance of our First Amendment. Regardless of outcomes tonight, I hope that my children, as well as others, find value in what has happened over the last few months. All right. A major theme brought up the last time we met back on November 12th at Lowman View Gymnasium was the need to slow down and take a deeper look at the potential growth forecasted in Pleasant View, North Ogden, and Harrisville. While we've heard lots of discussion about declining birth rates, that's only part of the equation and doesn't account for migration. In a community that is fully developed with no room for expansion, birth rates are significant. But Pleasant View, North Ogden, Harrisville, all have room for growth. In fact, I don't know if you've heard, there's been so much growth that Pleasant View got a Chick-fil-A. We've seen growth, and a reasonable person can expect more. As I understand it, if Lowman View closes, you will have 4 schools in the cone at or near capacity. What is the plan for the next few years? To bring in portables? As I understand it, Majestic and Bates are already at full capacity. I don't know if what we have said will have convinced the board to stay this decision. I hope that we have. I've heard that our public celebration of our school has come at the ire of other schools. Our intentions have never been to bring down other schools, merely to express our love for Lowman View and provide a compelling argument to keep our school open. Regardless of outcomes tonight, as a parent, I want to publicly recognize people that have been impactful for my children. Last school year was our first school year here in Utah. We relocated from Alaska, and with that came a huge cultural shock. It was a big adjustment for my oldest, and Ms. Burns quickly identified ways to help recognize and celebrate all the things that made my child special. She made my child feel welcomed, appreciated, and valued. This year, Ms. Broad has been amazing at helping my oldest understand his potential. She refuses to quit on him, even when he tries to quit on himself. When it comes to inspiring kids to love math, Ms. Johnson should be considered a national treasure. My youngest loves her class. I'm a parent volunteer in the school, choir, science club, running club. I'm a volunteer because of the positive impact others have had on my children. It's been amazing to watch as both my kids try new things and find their passions. Both of my kids love music and are excited by science. My oldest has found a love for running, and I am grateful that I get to work with such amazing parents. It's exciting to watch children try new things, accomplish hard things. It's exciting to watch them succeed. Lowman View is not just a school. For our kids, it's something special. Not only a place of traditional learning, but a place where they have experienced the value of community. Their uniqueness is celebrated, their interest explored, and their potential unlocked. Please do not close our school.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. Stephen Martin.
Good evening, board members. My name is Stephen Martin. I thought it would be best to discuss the slide that the district has been sharing in each board meeting about the reasoning for opening this closure study. The first reason for this closure study is that Lowman View is an older, aging building built in 1959 that has ongoing maintenance challenges and costs. The age of the building is not what we should be analyzing. This building has capacity to teach 650 students. So what you should really be analyzing is how much it costs to maintain that 650 student capacity versus the cost of creating it elsewhere. The district did share that proposed maintenance would be around $19 million, but they did not tell you if that $19 million was spent, how long those upgrades would last. It is safe to assume that those upgrades would keep Lowman View going for many years to come. Haven Bay was just completed. Its capacity is 700. The reported cost of Haven Bay was $54,700,000. So if you close Lowman View and at any point during the next 27 years need to build another new school in this area to absorb growth, that the data points to keeping Lowman View open as being the financially sound option. The second reason for the closure study is that a new modern facility next door is currently operating at half capacity. Based on the district's provided numbers, please note, board, that if you choose to close Lowman View, you will be putting North Ogden and Orchard Springs both at 86% capacity. Majestic currently sits at 98% capacity and Bates sits at 100% capacity. This means that between those 4 schools, they would only be able to absorb growth in the amount of 233 students. Right now, there are 2,886 new construction doors planned in the city, specifically within the borders of those 4 schools. This is not sufficient capacity to absorb growth. You need to keep Lowman View to avoid having to build a new school. The third reason for the closure study is stagnant and decreasing student enrollment in Lowman View and neighboring schools. I cannot stress enough that the data presented by the district to support this statement was rushed, misleading, and had inaccurate data in it. The average stated birth rate of 2.24% decline is aggressive based on an extremely small sample size. Even then, the numbers they presented for each school nearly doubled that percentage per year. Also, the last 3 years' worth of birth rate data presented are showing the birth rate is stabilizing, not continuing to decline as the district made it seem. The district is trying to say that declining birth rates will make it possible to absorb future growth, but it's simply not true. I strongly suggest getting the district's numbers verified by an independent source before ever voting to close any school. From what I can see, the district needs Lowman View. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone, for your feedback to the board tonight. We will now move to some discussion and action items on the agenda. Brock Mitchell, please.
All right, thank you, board. I want to welcome Matt Dugdale from Stiefel Public Finance and Ryan Bjerke from Chapman and Cutler, and acknowledge the work they've done on preparing this bond refunding opportunity that we're going to present to you tonight. Tonight we're asking the board to approve what's called a parameters resolution. What this resolution does is sets the wheels in motion for potential refunding of bonds, but doesn't commit us to refunding the bonds. It simply gives us the authority to move forward if the market conditions remain favorable for that refunding. So the district still owes roughly $21 million on the 2013 and $14.5 million on the 2014 general obligation bonds. Working with Matt and Ryan, we've identified a refunding opportunity that could save taxpayers somewhere around $1.7 million and shorten our payoff by about 3 years, finishing in 2030 rather than 2033 and 2034 respectively. So one way to think of this is refinancing a 30-year mortgage into a 15-year mortgage, shortening that window. We lock in better terms, pay less interest overall, and clear the debt sooner. It would also give the district greater flexibility to structure future debt, which would be helpful if the board decides to move forward with a bond in the future. Upon that final refunding, that added capacity could help keep that debt service levy stable and make any adjustments as we need growing into the future. In short, this step is about looking into ways to be proactive financially, positioning the district to save taxpayers money, and strengthening our flexibility within the district. So I want to see, Matt, Ryan, if there's anything you'd like to add or board questions you have for myself or Matt and Ryan. Okay, so to clarify the recommendation for the board, the recommendation is to approve the consideration of a resolution authorizing the issuance and sale of not more than $31 million of general obligation refunding bonds, delegating authority to certain officials to approve the final terms and provisions of and confirm the sale of such bonds and providing for related matters.
I just have, sorry, I have one question. So does this, if I understand that this gives us the opportunity, will that have to come back to the board, or does this give you guys the decision to make that final reconsolidation or refinancing?
This puts us, and Matt and Ryan, please correct me if I go wrong, this puts us in a position to start that ball rolling. If the market puts ourselves, we want to be prepared to strike on that day. We'll keep you updated as it goes, but this
so
is
we don't have to
saying
we don't have to vote again. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, board, I would look for a motion to approve the parameters resolution that Mr. Mitchell has presented to us. Doug and Bruce, any other further comments on that? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Thanks, Brock. Appreciate that. That'll put us in a good position. We'd like to excuse Heidi Alder tonight and have Heather Hardy come up, please, on some policy updates.
Good evening, Superintendent Butters, Board President, and Board. Tonight I have two policies to present to the Board. The first policy is a new policy, 8650, Research Projects and Proposals. And this policy establishes a consistent process for reviewing and approving research and survey requests in our schools. Anyone who wishes to conduct a research project in the schools will need to submit a research proposal application, which must be approved by the Director of Assessment, School Improvement, and Research. That's been our current practice. We're just putting that into policy. This policy also provides requirements for internal surveys, which also needs approval and specifics when parent consent is required. So the legal department is seeking board approval of the policy 8650, Research Projects and Proposals, on a first read.
Okay, thank you. Board, I'd look for a motion to approve new policy 8650, Research and Proposal, on a first reading, please. Janice, second. Jan, any questions or discussions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Go ahead, Heather.
The next policy is policy 8700, Animal in Schools. This policy has been revised to provide district-wide clarity for when animals are allowed on school campuses. It clearly distinguishes service animals, which are required by law to be allowed, therapy animals, which are permitted only with certification, supervision, and administrative approval, and other animals such as classroom pets and instructional animals, which require approval in advance from the administrators and parent notification. The legal department is seeking the board approval of policy 8700, Animals in Schools, on a first read.
Thank you. Board, I need a motion to approve revised policy 8700, Animals in School, on a first reading, please. Wiley, a second. Bruce, questions or comments? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Superintendent Butters will now address the board in regard to the school boundary and closure study specific to the Lowman View Elementary. Superintendent, please.
Thank you, President Whittison. Board members, our school closure and boundary study over the past few months has been both beneficial and admittedly challenging for the district and for the Pleasant View community. The last time a school was closed in Weber School District was during the consolidation of two school communities in the South Ogden area. In 2016, the newly constructed Birch Creek Elementary welcomed students from Marlon Hills and Club Heights, leading to the official closure of these two aging schools. The processes guiding school closure studies looked very different at that time. Today, new legal requirements mandate that school boards follow a highly formal, public, and rigorous school closure study process, and we have endeavored to fully adhere to those expectations. We have learned a great deal throughout this process and recognize that additional ongoing studies will be necessary in several areas across Weber School District. We extend our sincere thanks to the many patrons who have shared their feedback and perspectives during this formal study. I also want to express personally my deep appreciation, our deep appreciation to the district staff most closely involved in this study. Heather Nielsen, our elementary education director, Larry Hadley, our facilities and operations director, and Trent Bills, geographic information systems specialist, have spent countless hours and they have dedicated a lot of time to this endeavor. Thank you. After a thorough review, board, of the current data and the many variables still unfolding, I, as the superintendent, together with our district leadership team, recommend at this time pausing the decision regarding the potential closure of Lowman View Elementary to allow for a more complete and informed analysis. While enrollment trends, facility age, capital needs are significant factors, the broader regional picture is still evolving. Lowman View, built in 1959, faces mounting infrastructure challenges, escalating maintenance costs, and required state safety upgrades, realities that make a future closure increasingly likely. However, a critical ongoing study, particularly the ongoing dual language immersion program review, is not yet complete, and it has the potential to meaningfully shift enrollment patterns across the Weber cone. Leadership's goal is to support a decision that is sustainable for the next decade and not simply the next few years, and that requires a more complete understanding of housing and enrollment growth, demographic changes, DLI impacts, long-term facility planning, and ongoing and potentially new legislative mandates. Making a decision to close the school would compromise transparency, equity, and perhaps fiscal responsibility at a time when thoughtful coordination is essential. As a part of this more comprehensive approach, the district plans, of course with board approval, to initiate a partnership with an outside data analyst consultant to assist with school closure and boundary studies district-wide moving forward. This independent partner will help us more effectively validate enrollment projections, analyze regional demographic shifts, model boundary options, project potential growth due to housing development, analyze needed staffing adjustments, and assess long-term capacity needs across Weber School District. Utilizing a third-party consultant will bring additional expertise, enhance community trust, and ensure that complex decisions are grounded in the most accurate and forward-looking data available. This independent partnership, consulting partnership, will present their findings or recommendations to the board, and ultimately the board will make the determination from there. By continuing this study, district leadership is taking a strategic, responsible pause. We are not avoiding action. This additional time will allow the district to examine the variables that I've outlined. It will also provide the clarity needed to plan for the likely eventual closure of Lowman View in a way that is coordinated, fiscally responsible, and least disruptive to families. Extending the scope of the study ensures that the district avoids placing communities through multiple rounds of disruption, first through a closure now and again through maybe a larger realignment later. In a landscape shaped by school choice options, political dynamics, and state voucher expansion, stability and long-term planning, we believe, are important and paramount. Leadership believes that continuing the study, complemented by an expert third-party analysis, will lead to a more comprehensive and forward-looking solution for the students and families and taxpayers. Board, I recommend that we take additional time to deepen our data collection, engaging a third-party consultant, monitoring these identified variables as they develop, and continuing a comprehensive district-wide analysis of our current educational landscape. Due to these factors, Board, I would formally recommend to you that we vote right now not to close Lowman View Elementary. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent. Okay, board, we have been asked to consider the formal recommendation that Superintendent Butters just gave us, that we vote not to close Lowman View Elementary at this time. Do we have any comments that the board would like to make? Janice, go ahead.
I just need to express my sincere appreciation to those in the community who have reached out and shared their views, their feelings, their experience. But I also have to commend the superintendency, all those involved in the district who have worked tirelessly, hours, to determine how responsible this decision should be and would be. I'm just so grateful to be associated with all of you who have participated both on the school side, on the public comment side. It has really lifted my heart to see people so involved and so committed to the benefit of our children. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Kelly, please.
So I just wanted to start off again. I want to thank everybody who was involved here. I want to thank our district leaders. I know that this was a long time. It felt long and it felt painful, and it felt painful on my end personally. I'm sure it felt painful on your end. There was a lot of work done both on the district side and the community side. I know, like, for example, Heather Nielsen spent probably more time than she needed to on not that she needed to, but more time on this than other pressing needs for her job. So I want to thank everybody for doing that. I want to thank everybody in the community who reached out to me personally, who I was able to either meet with or correspond with or talk to on the phone. I just want you to know that that I take that responsibility very seriously, and that if anyone needs my phone number, it's yours to have. I wanted to thank everybody in the Lowman View community for inviting us to your school. I mean, all 4 of my kids went to Lowman View, so I'd been there before, but I appreciated that tour that we had, and the opportunity we had a few weeks ago to listen to everybody's comments. My son's first teacher, 3rd grade teacher, spoke at that public hearing, the other Mrs. Johnson. So those were our first teachers at Lowman View, was the other Mrs. Johnson and Mrs. Larson. And I do agree that this Mrs. Johnson is a national treasure. So as we started this study, first off, I just want to say some things that have been dismaying to me during this process is a lot of, and I won't say everybody participated in this type of conversation, but a lot of conversation that the decision had already been made, that the board was just rubber stamping the district's plan. There's a lot of chatter that we'd already sold the school property. And so those types of things have been dismaying to me. And so I hope that through this process, we can show you that we had no nefarious plans to start off. We didn't have a hidden agenda. We weren't trying to fit data to to any sort of conclusion. Did we make mistakes along the way? Maybe. Did we learn a lot of things? Yes. And so I think that's been the biggest thing for me, is that during the study, we were able to uncover a lot of things that we need to do to move forward. Initially, my biggest sticking point, more than anything, as we met with our school boundary committees, because we were going through this boundary process at the same time, is that in closing Lowman View, it would put North Ogden Elementary and Orchard Springs at a really high capacity. And so that, to me, more than anything else, was troubling. I know at Orchard Springs it would have utilized all of our classrooms. I know at North Ogden Elementary, some of the teachers there were concerned that if there was additional growth, that they don't in fact have anywhere on their school grounds to even house a portable, because they share their, they don't actually have their own playground. They use North Ogden City for that swap. So that's always been a huge sticking point to me, is that there was no flexibility for growth. As has been talked about multiple times, we're in the middle of this DLI study, and so that was my second sticking point here. And again, during the study process, we've heard a lot of concerns coming out of Bates Elementary, and knowing that that's a school community that needs to be looked at as well. So for me, we need to take I also am 100% on board with opening a district-wide and not just one school, but a district-wide boundary study and a staffing study. We need to look what enrollment or what growth is going to look like over the next few years, if enrollment's going to trend up, if the birth rate will continue to go down, the effects of the Utah Fits All scholarship, if that will continue to affect our district. Because as we know, we have multiple stewardships as a school district. One is, our mission and our strategic plan is to prepare future-ready learners and leaders, and that's our number one. Our number two is also fiscal responsibility has been a huge buzzword, but we do have a stewardship over taxpayer money, and so there's this competing need that we heard a lot at Truth and Taxation, that we need to tighten our budget, we need to make those fiscally responsible decisions, but also we have people saying it's fiscally responsible to keep schools open. So we've got that balance that we need to work through. But will we have schools that we may need to close? It's a possibility. So for me, another thing I would love to look at, we've had a lot of conversation about small schools versus schools that are overcrowded, and we know that our teacher to student ratio stays the same in all of our schools, whether they're at maximum capacity or whether they're sitting at 50%. But there is an issue with having too many really under-enrolled schools. I know there was a conversation a couple weeks ago where Granite School District decided to not close a couple schools. Jordan School District and Granite School District both serve about the same amount of students. Granite School District operates 20 more schools than Jordan School District. So to me, you've got fixed costs on those schools. So that's a huge thing is how much money are we spending in fixed costs if we have a lot of under-enrolled schools. So those are just things that I think we need to look at, but at a district-wide level. One other thing I wanted to address, I can't remember who said it, but there has been, I know the intention of the Lowman View community was to only talk about the good things happening at Lowman View Elementary. Unfortunately, there has been some trickle down into the other surrounding communities. So I'm just hoping as we move forward that our Pleasant View and North Ogden communities can come together and realize that all these students are our students. And at the end of the day, our students are going to move forward with our neighboring schools into the same junior high. Our kids are going to continue to go to school together at junior high and high school, and we need to come together as a community. And so anyways, again, I just want to thank everybody, and we did appreciate listening to all of your comments 2 weeks ago. So thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Any others? Jan, go ahead.
I'm going to try and keep my comments really brief, but I want, again, to echo the idea that thank you to the community and thank you to the faculty and the students who have shared their input. The process has been great. The deep dive into what's going on at Lowman View has been eye-opening and wonderful. We've learned beautiful things that are happening. The flip side of that, opportunities that are happening at Lowman View, comes great responsibility. Great responsibility to be a community. And so what I'm going to say tonight is I'm issuing a challenge. As we go forward, there's a lot of things that are going to happen to be looked at from the end of the district. But I would ask the parents, the faculty, the students, the community to also look at how can they expand their great opportunities into a larger community, a broader community for greater good. So that's basically my challenge tonight. Not to say that, we won't do what's best from a district standpoint. I believe that they will be looking at some big issues, but I would ask our students, our faculty, our community, and all of the patrons of Lowman View to look at how during that time can I expand the great things that are happening at Lowman View to happen in the greater community. Thank you.
Any others?
I don't have, I'm sorry. All right,
go ahead, Wiley.
I echo everything that has been said, but I just want to add a couple things from my perspective. The first is this: I believe what we've done is right. I believe that opening the study is the right thing to do. Reason number one for that is because as I entered this as a board member, I had no preconceived decisions or position on this. but I have been educated overall in many things that this study offered to me. And there are very compelling arguments both sides of this. But I believe that as a school board, we have been asked to be stewards of the entire school district. And in doing that, we have to look at this in a broad perspective and not just in a microscopic perspective. And I think that there's more that we need to learn before we continue this. But I think that we are on the right path. And I think that this is a necessary path for us to be on. And I'm grateful that we are willing and courageous that we will do these things in order to help make our school district better, and most importantly, do what's right for our students in this district. They're the number one thing that we focus on. So I just want to tell you that I'm appreciative of this process. And it's been very professional. It's been very thorough. It's been very open, and it's been very deep. And I'm grateful for the leadership that we have in this school district, and also for the patrons that we have, and for their openness and their passion. And so I've enjoyed it, even though it's not been fun, and there's been some long nights, and there's been some things that have been said that have been kind of personal. I've enjoyed this, and I think this is good, and I think we need to continue it.
Thank you. Go ahead, Doug.
President Widdowson, Superintendent Butters. My name is Doug Hurst. I live in Washington Terrace, and I represent Precinct 5, basically the Bonneville Cone. And I've been thinking about this as we've gone through this process. I came on the board in 2009, a long time ago, and I've seen a lot of change, a lot of things happen. And I was here when, in 2016, when we made that change, and that was pretty scary, pretty disruptive, to close 2 elementary schools, move them to a new school, and we had a new South Junior High School, a lot of change. And as I look back on that, one of the real concerns we had was if closing Club Heights on the west side of Washington Boulevard, our kids, especially in the wintertime when it's darker, would be crossing Washington Boulevard to and from school, because so the move to the new school was with the 1.5 mile radius where there was non-busing. We were able to make accommodations and arrange the busing so the kids wouldn't have to do that, because our concern was safety of the kids. But there was a lot of changes, a lot of things to deal with. There was pushback because that's general human nature to resist change. We faced with that, dealt with it, worked with the stakeholders involved. Now, just to say, when the dust settled after taking Club Heights and Marlon schools, an older school and a really old school, Club Heights, it made it to the top of the list of schools that need to be changed, and changed it to one new school. Here's what happened with all of the stakeholders. The Club Heights property, as you know, if a public entity declares surplus property, they have to make it available for other public entities. So the Club Heights property, Weber State University was very involved with that, and they took that as an opportunity to create a great practice facility for the golf team, because adjoining there, that property was Ogden Golf and Country Club, and they joined in as well, and that was a benefit to them. So there was really great synergy there for those two to happen. And then the Marlon Hills property, adjoining the old South Junior High property, became surplus. And our good friends at South Ogden City were interested in that. And after we built the new, tore down Marlon Hills and built the new Birch Creek Elementary School, South Ogden City purchased that property, and now they have a great park with pickleball courts, play structure for the kids, and grassy areas. It's really been a great asset to South Ogden City. And we also partnered with them when we built the new South Ogden Junior High School. They provided the funds to greatly increase the size of the gym so that during school hours, the students had an enhanced facility for their process in education. And nights and weekends, South Ogden had a great recreation program advance, and it was certainly a win-win for both of those. And then I just mentioned, so when the dust settled, it was a little concerning. It was like, wow, I was concerned about all that change, but at looking with the experience of looking back over time, it was absolutely the right decision to make, because we had 2 old schools that we closed, and we had 1 new school, air conditioning, et cetera, the safety, the up-to-date safety features. We saved a lot of money on maintenance, utilities, overhead, and administration. It was absolutely the right thing to do. So we've had some great help and working together in the synergy possibility with all of the stakeholders. We had Ogden Golf and Country Club, Weber State University, South Ogden City, and so we felt like with all of the great cooperation and this and not to forget the stakeholders, the taxpayers, the Weber School District, we saved a lot of money with the efficiencies and what we're able to do. And so with the ability to look back over these years and see what's happened, it was absolutely a great choice that we made, even though it was a little
rough,
unconcerting at the time. So it was the right thing to do. And we have to make the changes and do what's right for the taxpayers, the students, stakeholders, the parents, and everyone involved. And that's what we want to do and will do.
Thanks.
So if I have any time left in the 3 minutes, I cede it back to the president.
Thanks. Bruce, you had something you'd like to say?
Yes, I do. First of all, I would want to express gratitude for the process, for a country that we live in that allows this process to take place. The patrons that have had input have been great, have been a great opportunity for us to learn and to understand. Have there been mistakes? Well, if we don't think that there's been mistakes on both sides of this scale, we're mistaken in our thinking, because none of us are perfect. And yet, as we look at decisions as the district, if we look at a decision that the emails, if we look at emails, and I had a different perspective. I wasn't at the public hearing, as most of you know, but I reviewed every minute of that public hearing, the 3 hours and 37 minutes, I believe, that took place. And as I did that, it gave me a different perspective of what we were doing as a society. And I hope that what we can learn from that is that there is a better way. There's a better way to elevate our language, our interactions with each other, and a better way to understand and listen to one another. I think as we look at a decision, I look at a decision based on emotion from one end of the spectrum to demands and almost threats at the other end of the spectrum. And you have seen that take place through all of the discourse that has taken place. A decision made on either end of that spectrum will not be the right decision. I promise you that. But if we work together, if we understand better the information that is coming to us, and I've seen flaws on information in both sides. The acuity of both of those have been very good, but not perfect. And so as we look at those decisions, I think it's important for each one of us in this room and those listening that have had such input to take a step back and look at elevating the language that we use between each other without the barbs, the barbs of incompetency, the barbs of demands, and without the total emotion that I understand because it's near and dear to you. And I think if we do that, we'll come to the right decision. My personal belief is that at some point, probably closer than farther and more near to us is the closure of this school. I believe the construction costs that have been stated are way understated. Having been involved in many historical restorations, some major ones in higher education buildings in the north, that cost that we projected there could be eclipsed by change orders because of unknowns. And that happens with older buildings, with those things that are engaged in older buildings. So personally, I believe it's understated. But that doesn't mean that that school needs to close tomorrow. And I think that as we move forward, understanding each other and listening to each other, we can make a proper decision. The one thing that I would maybe just caution as something that I viewed from the meeting, from that different perspective, is that one of the great things that has been projected by the community is the stability of your children. And we want that as a district. But I believe that by bringing these children into such a spirited conversation and a spirited issue, that we may have unavoidably incurred the anxiety that you were trying to avoid. I have I'm hopefully confident that discussions in homes around that community were much different than the discussions that we heard in the public hearing. And I hope that even from now on, that you'll go back to your children and help them understand that this isn't something us against them, that it's something that we will work together to solve. I think it's also appropriate that these children may not completely understand the ramifications of what we're talking about. And so as parents and as leaders, I would hope that that would be conveyed in a language that they could understand and be part of. So I think that I wholeheartedly agree with the pause. I do believe at some point we're not going to make the need for that closure, but I do believe that as we move forward, we can do that at an elevated level with our language, our actions, or whatever it may be, through every course of vocal and our actions can be higher. I know this community, and I love the community of Weber County. We have one of the best opportunities in all of the state. I sit on 2 other boards that have everything to do with the governor's housing proposals and housing shortages. And I know what those challenges are and what is going to happen. And so with all the projections and all the hysteria, I think let's take that time to thoughtfully think of what needs to take place. Again, let me just thank each one of you for being here, for your investment, and for the passion that you showed for your children, and for the school, for the staff, and for the leadership. And I would hope that you could feel that same passion for this board who understands you, who has your back, and who will look to what you need to do and what needs to happen in this district. It's been good to see some new faces in these board meetings. My hope is that those faces will continue to be here because you voiced in your own opinions that you want to be concerned with what happens within the district. Be present, and that would be a challenge, I guess, or I shouldn't say a challenge, an invitation to you. So thank you for that, and I think that's all I need to say.
Thank you, Bruce. Well said. Thank you. I don't want to prolong this meeting anymore. I just want to say that I fully support this board and the words that they've spoken. They were all very well said. I want to thank the community for your involvement. We have commented several times about the doctrinal thesis pamphlet that was handed to us. But I'll tell you what, I know I've read it numerous times, and I know everybody sitting at this board table tonight has went through that quite a bit. And we have been very involved. appreciate Superintendent Butters and the district. So many hours and so many emails and so many discussions. It's been a process, and it's been a study, sleepless nights, yes, emails at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's been a study from the get-go. We've never had a decision to close this school. We wanted to look at it. There's also other schools in our district that will go through the same process in the future. Lowman View just happened to be the first one, and we've learned from that. So if there's no other comment, board, I will re-propose the recommendation made by Superintendent Butters and the district that we vote not to close the Lowman View School at this time. Motion, Janice first, second, Kelly. No further discussion. All in favor of that proposal, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. We thank all of you for coming tonight, the district, everybody that's been involved in this study, and we'll ask for another motion. I ask for a motion to close this meeting. Kelly and Wiley, a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Thanks everyone for coming.